Hello everyone, and welcome to a new video on my YouTube channel, Anton GF. This is a new episode, the very first one in fact, of this new series of podcasts and videocasts called Roundabout Town, and we're going to be talking with people who have been doing interesting things around the Northwest Tennessee and West Tennessee area, around Jackson and Martin and pretty much everywhere else in between. And today, right here in Jackson, Tennessee, on the front porch of my home, we have Sam Smith Goyret, who has been one of the founders of the Northwest Tennessee Local Food Network. Thank you very much for being here, Sam.
Thank you, Anton, for having me.
Well, it's really a pleasure. I've been wanting to do this for quite a while, and since you're in town for the day, then I thought this would be a good moment to chat about this project of yours. Could you tell us briefly what the Northwest Tennessee Local Food Project is?
Sure. Well, the Northwest Tennessee Local Food Network started back in 2015 as just a community organization with a bunch of, actually me and my friend Ashley Kite Rowland, we founded the organization because we were two young mothers looking for locally sourced food, and there was no list or anything like that, so we created a list, and we thought, well, I bet there are other people who would like this list, so we came out with the first local food guide. And because of that project, it led to a series of other projects related to local food, and we became incorporated as an organization in 2018. So now we're an official nonprofit organization, and we have a regional reach, so we're trying to reach out to all the 9 counties in Northwest Tennessee.
So what kind of activities do you carry out currently, and you are planning to carry out in the future?
Well, our main mission is to catalyze actions that are increasing access to locally grown and produced foods in an equitable and sustainable way. So what does that mean? How are we doing this? We started off with hosting farm-to-table dinners and started with a community forum kind of basis and talking about the different parts of the food system. Because when you talk about a food system, it's the whole thing, from not only the farmer to the end consumer, but all of those little spots in between. So how does it get distributed, and then where does it go, and who buys it, and who are all the middle people in between that farmer and the consumer. So really what we're trying to do locally is shorten that chain by promoting farmers markets, by providing educational opportunities for farmers to grow their agricultural businesses, and we've also gotten involved with farm-to-school projects in the Weekly County school system, and we just rolled out a new farm-to-preschool program called Nourishing Connection. So we're really just trying to get folks back into their sources of food, where does food come from, and why is it important to not only shop locally, but eat locally and know your farmer.
Is this something that is happening across counties? Do you have help from the local governments? How does that work?
Well, being a nonprofit, we are mostly grant funded and fundraiser funded, but mostly grant funded. Fundraisers are challenging, especially during the times of COVID. We get support. We have gotten support from city governments. We started in Weekly County, so that has been our main area, just because we are located out of Martin in Weekly County, and most of our contacts are there. But we have contacts in all of the counties. We help support the local farmers markets by providing them technical assistance and marketing assistance for free, no charge. Because we're just do-gooders and we want to make the world a better place through local food.
Well, that's a wonderful thing, and as maybe one of the people who might be interested in helping out, as I'm sure a lot of people who may be watching this might think, well, maybe I could be of help somehow. How could people get involved with the kinds of projects and the kind of activities that you do?
Well, we always have volunteer opportunities posted online, and our website is NWTNLFN.org, and we also post opportunities on our Facebook page, which is also NWTNLFN, and that stands for Northwest Tennessee Local Food Network. So if you look us up, or you like our Facebook page, then you'll be connected with us, and you'll become naturally part of our network. We also send out monthly e-newsletters that tell different opportunities. But basically, the best thing that anybody can do is just try to start growing your own food. Either from like a little pot with some lettuce seeds and just start dabbling in that, to going to a farmer's market and buying local food from there, or encouraging your city government to procure food locally, which means buying food from local farmers. Even restaurants, you can ask owners, hey, where did this lettuce come from? Is this a locally grown food item? Because the more people who show and express interest in local food, then the more our movement has a ripple effect throughout the area.
And I can see that you have a sort of publication that you are putting out, some kind of a guide. Could you tell us a little bit about that guide? How, what kinds of content you have in there, and how it can be, how we can get that publication?
Sure. Well, like I said, we began by starting a very small local food guide that sources area farmers and producers, meat producers, egg layers, jam makers, bread makers, even soap makers who make soap from goat's milk. So pretty much any local product is featured in our Northwest Tennessee Local Food Guide. This is exciting, this document here, because it's the first time we've actually created a magazine. And in this magazine, it was a collaboration with the Weekly County Press. So the magazine is actually sourced and produced locally. It's also printed locally through the Union City Messenger. And it has local stories about different counties doing different things and how they're making a difference in the local food system by the activities that are happening in that particular county. So you not only get an awesome magazine, you get local stories, but even more so, you get a whole list of where you can get your food sourced locally, and what time are the farmers markets open, where they're located, and just access to information about increasing access to local food.
That sounds really interesting. And where could you get that guide? Do you have to go to a specific place?
Yeah, so at all of the farmers markets in Northwest Tennessee, you can pick up a guide. Almost every single town hall also has a food guide. You can find the actual distribution list on our website, which is nwtnlfn.org, and you can also download this for a copy on your own desktop on our website as well, under the local food guide link on our website.
And if anyone would like to advertise in there, or have their name included in there because maybe they are farmers, or they work locally and they want to appear on that publication, what can they do?
Yeah, well, all farmer listings are free. And you can, it's just a really easy, quick registration form that you could find on our website under nwtnlfn.org under the food guide. So when you click on food guide, you'll see that there's a registration link. For advertisers, we are very grateful for our advertisers because they help offset the cost to cover the cost of printing. So you can see that Discovery Park had purchased a nice ad here, and we've got from Trimble, Full Throttle Saloon, that made a nice ad. So we not only showcase these ads in our local food guide, but we also showcase them on our website, and we promote our advertisers as much as we can because we are grateful for their support, because the more advertisements and funds we can raise, the more and bigger the magazine can become and more widely distributed. Let's
remind the viewers of that website.
So the website is nwtnlfn.org.
nwtnlfn.org. How long has this local food network been in the works, and how difficult or easy has it been to put everything together?
Well, it hasn't been easy, but growing food and feeding others has always been a passion of mine. We've been going for 5 years strong now. I haven't become rich off of this project. It's been hard for my husband, but he's very supportive in all that I do, because really the benefit of working on a project like this and in an organization like this is that it has a rippling effect throughout the community. because we all need food. All of us need to eat. It's a basic necessity. It's an essential necessity. And now, so more than ever in the times of COVID, it's shown a light on our food system with meat prices going up and meat factories closing, and also food prices as well. And realizing, hey, if I shop closer to home, then I know where my food comes. I know that my food is safe, and I know that it's healthy. And research has shown that the more fruits and vegetables you consume in your diet, the stronger your own immunity and functions of your body work for you. So it's actually, maybe it might be the cure for COVID. Just eat your veggies.
Well, hopefully that would be wonderful, wouldn't it?
I know.
Now, ultimately, what are the goals of the Northwest Tennessee Local Food Network, and have you already been accomplishing some of those goals in the time since you have begun?
Yeah, well, when we began, I actually had written a technical assistance grant called Local Foods, Local Places, and we got it. It's through the Environmental Protection Agency, and they helped us jumpstart our planning process as to how are we gonna fix this local food system. I mean, it's like going into a dirty room and not really knowing where to start cleaning. So we had an action plan that took us 3 years to go through, and we completed as best as we could. But the main goals were, increasing awareness about local farmers markets, providing more educational opportunities to not only farmers but also the consumer, and increase farm-to-school opportunities in the region. And so we have been kind of checking off the list, but continually adding to the list. So the more we get involved in the local food system, the more we realize that we need to do more. So really right now our main focus is on farm to school and teaching children where their food comes from, how to eat that food, how to consume it, and also how to cook it and prepare it, harvest it, the whole from really literally seed to spoon or fork.
So there's a very big educational component of the work that you do.
Yes, it's mostly education. When it comes down to it, really, I mean, unfortunately, a lot of children don't even know that a French fry comes from a potato, and nonetheless that a potato actually is grown underground. So there's a huge disconnect when it comes to how does our food get to our plate. So that's part of the big educational component of it. And additionally, there's a lot more, like on the farmer side, farming is probably one of the oldest entrepreneurial activities anyone could get into. Like the farmer is the original entrepreneur. So you have to be innovative, you have to be savvy, you have to know how to do all different kinds of things, and still keep food on your own family's plate, literally. So being a farmer is challenging, especially in these days, because there hasn't been a lot of support for our farmers, especially small scale farmers. But now that is kind of resurfacing, because the more demand for local food we have, the better our chances of meeting that supply side of it. So more farmers are getting interested in growing food and selling food.
So how good has the response been to the activities of the Northwest Tennessee Local Food Network among farmers, among the institutions, among people in general since you've begun?
It's been positive. It's been really amazing. I mean, we decided on the mission to serve as a catalyst, and a catalyst means kind of creating a spark to get the fire going. And not saying that we want to burn fires in this area, but we want to start. We're really, literally starting a local food movement from the ground up. And the more that people are aware of our organization, I think the more folks get it, that food is important. Where our food comes from is important, and if we could keep those dollars, those food dollars, in our community, it actually strengthens the local economy.
Well, that's really a wonderful kind of work that you're doing, and we truly appreciate what you're doing, from many different perspectives, really, because this kind of work is really important, not just from an economic point of view, but also from an educational point of view. So we really commend you for your work, and we wish you, the best of luck. And if there's anything that we can do to help, we'll definitely be here, as I am sure many people watching this video would be. So I'll give you a last word, anything that you want to say to encourage people to become involved in the kinds of projects and in the kind of work that you do within the Northwest Tennessee Local Food Network. Now's the time for that.
Okay, well, some of the things y'all could do is there are a lot of school gardens that always need help. You can help volunteer at a school garden and help teach kids where their food comes from. If you grow food and you have extra zucchinis or cucumbers or anything that's you just can't consume, you can donate it to the Food is Free Pantry. That's on 206 Oxford Street in Martin, and we're encouraging others to have their own vegetable produce pantries. A lot of times pantries just have non-perishable foods, but we're really trying to help spread the love of vegetables. And if you don't like a vegetable once, try it again. If you try it twice, you can at least say that you really don't like it. But just don't give the first time a go. You always have to try vegetables twice.
You need to tell my daughter that.
Yeah.
Of course, people can have access to that publication that you have right there.
Yeah, pick up a food guide at your local farmer's market or download it online at nwtnlfn.org.
Once again, NWTNLFN.org. Thank you very much, Sam Smith-Goyret, for being here with us on this first videocast of Roundabout Town here in West and Northwest Tennessee.
Thanks, Anton.
My name is Anton Garcia-Fernandez, and this is the first episode of Roundabout Town on my YouTube channel, Anton GF. Thanks again, Sam.